It's very important that you don't respond to people when they abuse you. For the last 2 years, maybe three, I've been through hell in a series of relationships. None of those relationships are love interests. These are all friends and business associates. And one of the motivations for this channel, Positive Journeys, is because of that experience. And while this was happening to me, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why somebody could be so kind to you and so friendly and actually build you up, make you important, so important that you questioned it. You're like, well, I'm not that special. Why do they keep telling me that I'm this special person? And then all of a sudden it starts to change, and it changes very slowly. You'll hear a remark, and it's designed to cut you. And over time, the remarks get worse, and the comments get worse. And what's actually happening is these people attract you into your life, into their life, because they need something from you. And when they've decided that you are of no value to them anymore, then they decide when you make your exit. And one of the ways they decide that is by how they treat you. Now, most people are good-hearted people deep down inside. So most people won't tolerate abuse, but rather than stand up to that abuse, they just walk away. Now, mentally, of course, that's really good for you. But in some cases, in some situations, you're not in a position to just walk away. In my situation, I had responsibilities. I had people who were dependent on me. And this was a financial structure that I wasn't ready to walk away from. I had invested a lot in this. First of all, I had invested a lot in that particular business relationship. But also, I had people that I worried about, and people I needed to protect. And if you have any goodness in you, you will defend the people who you love the most. And then I found myself stuck. I found myself in a situation where I knew I was being abused, and I knew these people were trying to push me away for their own benefit. But I wasn't ready to go. And it was a terrible time. It was a terrible time. It was a time where I was at times I thought I was suicidal, even though I don't think I was. Well, obviously I wasn't, because I'm still here. But I don't use the word suicidal loosely, because it's very sad. It's very sad when a person takes their life. But you can be abused to a point where people will try to break you so hard that you feel ashamed almost. And much of the shame comes from the fact that you actually allowed it to happen. So how I counteracted it, and the reason for this video is you have to be very careful that you don't get angry. Because if you get angry and you lash out, that's exactly what these people want. Because when you're in a room and somebody is trying to trigger you, and this could be the most nasty person in the world. If you react and if you get angry, you actually look like the problem. Onlookers will look at you and go, you're the problem. You are crazy. What is wrong with you? And then you've lost. And many times it's not even a win-lose situation. It's a situation where you have to survive. And you have to push through. So in my case, what I did was at times I would be socially connected to one person in particular. But because of that connection, there was this extended group of people, some business associates and some friends, who were also closely connected to that. And then what happens is when these people begin to destroy you, or they've decided that they want to destroy you and get rid of you, they will actually make an effort to turn you against your friends, or to turn your friends against you. Now, these are friends you've known long before you knew that these people, the person. So they will try to destroy everything around you and break you to the point where you actually feel like your life is over. And that's a horrible place to be. And it's also a very lonely place to be because there's very few people you can talk to about this. But I was fortunate that I had somebody very close to me that I could share this with. And the more I talked about it, the more I started to see the light. So then you go through a series of emotional places where, you obviously feel anger. And then your next goal is to want revenge. And that's the worst thing you can do. You have to get through that phase. And I'm trying to tell you in a few minute video what I've done in 3 years. This is a long, 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 long road, but it's definitely worth it. So one of the things I did was I stopped associating with these people socially. So now it became just literally a business relationship. Now, once I stepped back socially, what actually happened was not alone did I lose them, which I needed to, I also lost the people that were surrounding them. And when I say lost, what actually happened was I quit drinking. Once I quit drinking, the social ties were cut off at that point. Now that doesn't mean I didn't see them socially, but what was nice was I would go to an event. I never went to an event they invited me to, but I might be at an event, let's say, and they were there. It was very easy for me to make an exit very fast because, see, I wasn't drinking. I wasn't hanging out. I was there for the event. I did what I had to do, and then I left. So they could not control me. And consequently, they could not control the people around me. And even though many of my friends, who were my friends, I kind of lost them for a period of time. But most of them, especially the ones who were true and good friends, most of them came back ultimately. So that was just a temporary loss. But once you push through the anger and then you realize what's happening, there is a moment where you kind of awaken and you realize I'm just being abused. I'm being abused, and they think they're going to push me away, and they think they're going to insult me or hurt me. And they said hurtful things. They said hurtful things about people I really love. And I realized that it had nothing to do with these people that I love. It had nothing to do with me. It was really the fact that they were now really starting to escalate this abuse. And when somebody is abusing you and you have figured it out and they start to escalate, that's when you really need restraint and you really need to pull back. And what I did, for the most part, is I went completely silence. I was in total silence. I completely ignored pretty much 99% of communication. Unless it was directly related to business, I denied them all communication with me. And this was very easy to do, by the way, because it was very simple. I said, no, I quit drinking. Now, you may have something in your life that you do on a constant basis with them. It could be anything. It could be a hobby. It could be going out drinking with them. It could be smoking a cigar with them. It could be whatever. You will need to suspend that. That's what you need to do. You need to get away. So what happens is, then once you realize that they're escalating and you pull back and you go silent, that's when they really go completely off the wall. That's when the nasty attacks get worse. And then they will unleash the flying monkeys on you. They will have people who they can't contact you. They have no contact you. So they will send out what I call their flying monkeys. And here's what's really crucial. It's very important for you to understand that the flying monkeys are not bad people. They don't have conversations with these people and say, hey, go watch what he's doing or watch what she's doing, and then report back to me. It's not like that. They have a very, very articulate way of sending these people into your circle and finding out what's going on with you. So when you separate from the narcissist or the person who's abusing you, you also need to separate yourself from the flying monkeys, but you must be very kind to the flying monkeys. Because what happens over time, as this abuser begins to escalate, They start to get so frustrated that they actually get frustrated with the flying monkeys. And as long as you remain the person who you are to your core, you don't have to worry about anything. What happens is the abuser will eventually be exposed. You must stand your ground on this. This takes a long time. And even to this day, last week, they sent somebody into my circle from the past, from my past, and from their past. And I realized after 2 conversations with this person that they were trying to connect with me. And what they were trying to do is they were trying to reel me back in, not knowing what they were doing or not knowing that they were being set up. They were trying to reel me back in so that I would be in attendance in a specific place at a specific time. If this abuser could make that happen, that means that they are still controlling you. But I figured it out really fast. And I essentially cut that person off in a very polite way. I said, "Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I can't be there. And I can't explain why." And that's the best thing is because you're genuinely saying I can't be there, but you're also not giving them any information that they could bring back to the abuser. That's a very, very powerful place to be. So I want you to do yourself a favor. I want you to study this. Positive Journeys is about a journey that started out for me that was absolutely devastating. And now I'm at the place where that journey has turned positive. And the whole premise of this channel is to help you if you're experiencing this. And like I said, this could be a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. In my case, it was a business relationship. It could be somebody you work with. It could be an ex. It could be anybody. But I'll tell you right now, I still have that relationship with that person. I'm still not a relationship. I shouldn't call it that. There's a necessary connection to this person. That still continues. But I am now in total control. And they know that they can't control me. And they've tried to reel me back in. They've tried to love bomb me. They've tried to send me pictures of their children to try to, they do all this nasty stuff. And there's nothing worse than a person using their children to try to get you back into their good graces. That's a form of abuse to your children in its own way. But they've tried everything and nothing works. And the other thing about this is you have to get to a point. This is why you can't get attached to anything. You can't get attached to people, things, or situations. One of the things I decided that this thing that I was connected to that was important to my family, the fact that I had responsibilities, I actually got to the point where I said, no matter what happens, I will not let these people control me. And if that means that I lose this thing that I've worked for and worked so hard for, I'm okay with that. I had 3 years to prepare myself to exit in case things went really, really wrong. And what's funny is that situation still continues. I'm still operating. I'm still financially secure in that situation. And the people who are abusing me have absolutely no power over me. When you get to that place, that's a beautiful place to be. And I know you will. Now, I want to tell you, I'm going to do a video on the people who helped me. But one of the places I went and I got extremely phenomenal help was Jordan Peterson. Look up Jordan Peterson. And I don't care if you're male, female, black, white, whatever gender you are, whatever your sexual preference is, it doesn't matter. Look up Jordan Peterson. He is an absolutely wonderful human being, and he will set you straight on who you need to be. And the one thing that he always says is, as long as you remain you, and as long as you remain in your honesty, and as long as you stick to your core beliefs and your core direction, be it spiritually or otherwise, you will be fine. And the bad guy or the bad girl will ultimately be exposed. Love yourself first.